Hey, good morning, Lakes Community Church. Pastor Gabe checking in with you guys. Hey, I am so excited to be able to share with you guys something that I feel God had been really speaking to my heart as I knew this day was coming up. I was praying and preparing and just asking, Lord, what is it that you want me to say? What is it that you want me to share through this medium with our church and with whoever it is that ends up seeing this, I suppose, as it will be on a public forum. But so the Lord was telling me He wanted me to ask a question. I felt like He wanted me to ask a question, and the question is, why are you doing? And not what are you doing, but why are you doing? And I was led to a passage of scripture. I want to obviously start there, and then just share with you where I feel God kind of shared with me in this question. So the passage of scripture comes out of Colossians. It's Colossians chapter 3, and I'll start in verse 23, and it says, "Whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance. For you serve the Lord Christ, but he who does wrong will be repaid for what he has done, and there is no partiality." So this question, why are you doing what you're doing, is so incredibly important to me. It's more important, really, honestly, than what you're doing. Because what you're doing doesn't really matter if you're not doing it heartily as unto the Lord. And so what kind of things in this world around us, right, where things have changed and things look different, why are you doing the things that you're doing? I want you to answer that question for yourself, and hopefully you can answer it honestly. From the start here, 3 or 4 months ago, 7 years ago, it felt like forever. Hopefully you remember or had heard me say and really felt like I'd heard from the Lord that I didn't want to have a mindset that said, hey, let's get through this, but more, let's grow in this. And the idea of using words like back to normal just didn't really set well with my spirit. I think the normal that many of us lived was probably not one that really God was super happy with or honored by or blessed by. And that's not necessarily the case for everyone, but I felt like this was an opportunity as God extended mercy to us for each person to sort of take a personal inventory of themselves and of their lives and really ask that question, why am I doing this? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Am I responding in a way that's honoring to God with all that I do all the time? Or am I just sort of following along? Am I just sort of playing the game, walking through life, following this path of just normalcy? And I think that's where maybe many of us were, where it was just sort of like life had kind of taken over and taken over on autopilot. I won't have time to share right now in this format, but on Wednesday night we talked about how sometimes our knowledge can kind of take over for our faith, and we allow the things we know and the things we've experienced and the things that are comfortable to sort of walk us through life, and how God's called us to a life of faith, a life of looking past the things that we can understand and comprehend and going, God, you're bigger and greater and more wonderful than all these things. So as a word of encouragement to you, ask yourself and be honest and ask God, why am I doing this? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And you can be as general or as specific as you want. So generally, why are you at your job? Why are you at doing the things you're doing? A general question. And if you want, you can go as specific as you want with God too. He's that intimate. Why did I put my left sock on first instead of my right? Let's be honest. Let's start asking the questions. Let's start asking and seeing, is everything we do being done heartily as unto the Lord? Is every last bit of us in effort to glorify God and honor Him? Or are we just merely getting by? So maybe it's kind of a slap to the face, to a wake-up call or whatever. Maybe it's encouraging to you. I hope you're encouraged to hear these words and think, man, what can I do to better my relationship with God? What can I do to make sure that all the things that I'm doing with my life are being done heartily as unto Him and not to men? And so I pray that over you, that you'll have opportunity to ask those questions, to be real with yourself, to be real with God, and really to grow, to continue to grow as things are changing every day, to continue to grow in that relationship with Him. Draw near to Him, He'll draw near to you. So love you guys. Can't wait to see you again. Have a great day.